Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ace's Media Mayhem. Today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. In this case, I shall be doing a top 10 list. What of, you may ask? Well, since summer is right around the corner, I thought it would be informative for everyone for me to share my top 10 films coming out from May through August of this year. Number 10. We all know that dogs are man's best friend, but we ever thought about the possibility of a super dog being Superman's best friend? Crypto the Superdog finally gets his time in the spotlight in the Warner Brothers film DC Super League of Pets. Starring the voice talents of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart, we learn the story of Crypto the Superdog and Superman fighting for him together, but soon afterwards, Superman is captured by Lex Luthor, and Crypto the Superdog must work with other pets who have found themselves with other unique superpowers in order to overcome the challenges and save his owner. This film is currently being scheduled for release on July 29th, 2022. Number 9. When I first saw this trailer for the movie, I thought to myself, this is the cruelest way to make someone hungry over a movie. Directly from the TV series Bob's Burgers, we are pleased and privileged to welcome the Bob's Burgers movie to the theater. To the best of my knowledge, the film features a storyline where Bob's Burgers is threatened by a sinkhole that opens up in front of his restaurant, and they try to save the store. In addition, apparently, there is a mystery surrounding the restaurant that the children are going to try and uncover. Please make sure you check out the Bob's Burgers movie as it releases on May 27th. Number 8. When you think about singers in the 20th century who have been a major influence in our culture, one of the first ones that come to my mind is none other than the king of rock and roll himself, Elvis Aaron Presley. Coming to theaters from Warner Brothers Pictures, this film, Elvis, will showcase the life of the legendary rock and roll star, starring Cody Smith-McPhee as Jimmy Rogers, Olivia de-Jonge as Priscilla Presley, David Wyndham as Hank Snow, Richard Roxburgh as Vernon Presley, Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker, and Austin Butler as the king himself, Elvis Presley. This film will be coming to theaters and having everyone singing along to Elvis's songs on June 24th of this year. Number 7. We once again return to the British life in the early 20th century as we once again join the Crawley family in another wonderful tale of their life in the British countryside. This time around, the story is continuing from the first film after a visit from the King and Queen of Great Britain. In this circumstance, however, they're going to be visited by some filmmakers who are wanting to film in Downton Abbey. In addition, there is apparently a mysterious villa in France that has been inherited, and now mysteries abound, friendships are tested, and let's go traveling all across Great Britain in this wonderful tale directed from Simon Curtis. Once again reprising their roles from the television series, Hugh Bonneville, Jim Carter, Michelle Dockery, Elizabeth McGovern, Alan Leach, Tuppence Middleton, and the famed Maggie Smith all reprised their roles from the TV series in this film, Downton Abbey, A New Era, being released to theaters this month on May 20th. Number 6. Everyone get ready for mayhem in the most fun way possible. Illumination Films once again brings the Minions and Gru back to the silver screen this year in a direct sequel from Minions. Now, this time around, the minions have officially joined a young Gru as he seeks out to prove that he is one of the most despicable new villains in today's world. This film features a wonderful all-star cast and some hilarity as the minions attempt to show that they are useful to Gru against a league of supervillains and learn to find their place along the boss's side. Joining Steve Carell and Pierre Coffin in the voice work includes Taraji B. Henson, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Michelle Yeoh, Dolph Lundgren, Lucy Lawless, and Danny Trejo. Make sure you check out Minions: The Rise of Gru as it bumbles its way into theaters July 1st. Number 5. Let's all be honest with ourselves. We have been waiting for so long for Tom Cruise to take a break from the Mission Impossible franchise and go back to perhaps one of his best films from the 1980s. Top Gun finally gets its sequel, Top Gun Maverick, which sees Tom Cruise reprise his role as Maverick. This time, instead of just being in the pilot seat of a fighter plane, he's now apparently being called back to be an instructor for a new series of pilots who are joining the Air Force. From Paramount Pictures, we are going to be seeing a lot of things from drama to air flight and some dogfighting mixed in all together. Reprising his role as Pete Maverick Mitchell, Tom Cruise will be joined by Jennifer Connelly, Miles Teller, Monica Barbaro, Louis Pullman, Val Kilmer, Glenn Powell, John Hamm, and Ed Harris. Make sure you head to theaters to catch this sequel, Top Gun Maverick, when it flies in May 27th, 2022. Number 4. It has finally happened. What started over 30 years ago in theaters finally comes to fruition this year as Jurassic Park Dominion shows us what happens when dinosaurs coincide with humans. The story takes place 4 years after the destruction of Isla Nublar, and now humans and dinosaurs live in a very fragile balance that will determine our future as a species and see if we remain the apex predators as we once again share the same earth with the fiercest creatures ever to walk it. Reprising their roles is Chris Pratt as Owen Grady, Bryce Dallas Howard as Claire Dearing, and returning to their roles in Jurassic Park is Sam Neill as Alan Grant, Laura Dern as Ellie Sattler, and Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm. In addition, we're going to have Mamoudou Athie, Scott Hayes, Dichin Nachman, Daniela Pineda, Campbell Scott, Isabella Sermon, Justice Smith. Join them as we now face the age-old question, who would survive, dinosaurs or humans? As Jurassic World Dominion stomps into theaters June 10th. Number 3. A lot of people have been waiting for the trailer to come out for Thor: Love and Thunder, and it has not disappointed. Thor retired from the god and superhero business after Avengers Endgame, and he has been working to try and find himself while spending time with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Unfortunately, his retirement is interrupted by a galactic killer known as Gore the God Butcher, who intends to seek the extermination of the gods. Now Thor must enlist the help of King Valkyrie, Korg, and Jane Foster as he intends to find out where Gord came from and to try and stop his nefarious plan. Pom Clemente, Taika Waititi, Karen Gillian, Natalie Portman, Christian Bale, Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, Vin Diesel, Matt Damon, Bradley Cooper, Russell Crowe, and Tessa Thompson in Thor, Love and Thunder, being released to theaters on July 8th. Number 2. I'm not sure what else I can say for number 2 of the top 10, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange is finally getting himself involved with the multiverse as he once again casts a strange spell to open the doorway to the multiverse, where he encounters a lot of alternate versions of himself, as well as villains that are strange and powerful. Returning to their roles of Doctor Strange and Wanda, Benedict Cumberbatch and Elizabeth Olsen reprise their roles, as well as Chiwetel Ejiofor, Benedict Wong, Joyita Gomez, Rachel McAdams, Jet Klein, Matt Stolberg, Sheila Atim, Julian Hilliard, and Adam Hugo. Oh, and in case you are wondering, yeah, it made that much in the opening weekend. If that's not proof enough for you to go see it, then I don't know what is. It's number 1. So, if Doctor Strange got number 2, what is my number 1 for the top movies you should see during the summer season? In perhaps one of the greatest moves by Disney Pixar, we are being given a special treat this summer by having a movie that none of us asked for, but perhaps a movie that we all wanted to see. Buzz Lightyear finally gets a movie of his own, this time not as a toy, but an actual space ranger. And we get to learn the story of how he became a space ranger, how he encountered Zurg, and how he became perhaps one of the greatest defenders in the galaxy. Unfortunately, we will not be able to have Tim Allen in the role of Buzz Lightyear this time around. However, we will be having Chris Evans giving his voice for Buzz Lightyear in this movie, as well as seeing the voice talents of Keke Palmer, Dale Solis, Taika Waititi, Peter Son, Uzo Aduba, James Brolin, Mary McDonald-Lewis, Efren Ramirez, and Isaiah Whitlock Jr. This film, directed by Angus MacLean and written by Jason Headley, is going to be released to theaters on June 17th. Thank you for joining me for my top 10 films you must see in theaters from May to August of 2022. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and tune in for more videos and box office predictions that will be happening on a weekly basis. Until then, see ya.